Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel, you guys. It is your girl, Miss Honey, here with a review / discussion of Greenleaf. This is season 4 episode. I'm not really sure, but the episode is called Stranger. Listen. Full disclosure, I've got a bit of mint in my mouth. I'm going to try to break this mint down and this episode down without choking. Both could be an issue. New to my channel, hit that subscription bell. It's free and it is a wise decision. Let's just be honest. Okay, if you like making wise decisions, hit that subscription bell. Also, the notification bell. I don't do a lot of videos. I'm not going to get on your nerves, okay? But when I come in, you will know that I have something to say. Don't forget the thumbs up button. I take that as a personal offense if you were to stop by and you don't speak. Okay, you speak by hitting that thumbs up bell. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up bell and let your girl know, hey, Miss Honey, I stopped by. Okay, and comment down below. Go through the comments. Just go through past videos. Go through the comments, darling, and you will see that we talk in depth about the episodes of the shows that we love. But let's move forward. I'm doing this review / discussion a bit differently, and let me tell you why. It is because I want us to talk about these characters. It's okay to go scene by scene. It's fine. That's doable. We've proven that. But can we exegete, which means to pull apart, to break down, to get up under that thing and look at it? Talk about the characters. Can we do this? Can we chat about it? I'm sorry, I have been on a Diane Carroll movie marathon, and you know, although she is a woman of color with some European descent somewhere, she always talked as though she had a slight accent. So I am projecting, darling. I'm going to try to control it. But with Lynn Whitfield as Lady Mae in Greenleaf, I don't know. I don't know how much I can hold it together, but we will try. So last week's episode left off with Grace announcing that she wanted to talk to her mother, Mae, about her son, AJ. We start this episode with Mae having sort of come out of the bedroom. She is now down in the living space, and she and Mae are in the parlor, darling. The parlor, and they are talking. Sunlight is up. I imagine they have talked all night about what's happening. When she approached Mae, it was nighttime. Mae seems calm. She seems pulled together. She seems as though she has her wits about her. She wants to meet this son. And what have you done? Bring me up to speed. Are you sure you've told me everything? And I'd like to meet him. Well, I don't know if that's possible, Grace says, because he's upset with me and I've tried to reach him on the phone. I cannot reach him on the phone. I've tried and I've tried. You must continue to try, daughter. You must continue to try, because it is important that we bring him in, that we assess what is happening here. Okay? Grace goes and she calls him. He does not answer. Same time, Mae goes and talks to Bishop, and she tells him how she feels, not necessarily about AJ and the fact that he may or may not, we just don't know yet for sure, if he is her grandson, but she talks about how she feels like a squirrel far out on a limb, a dry, brittle, thirsty, shaky, wavering limb. Okay, this is how Mae feels. This is about Mae right now. And Bishop recalls a story. He remembers Gigi calling when she was 18 and needing some money, and he suggested to her instead that he come to get her. And she seemed frantic and afraid. He thought she was just had her back up against the wall. She had bitten off more than she can chew. He had no idea that she was in fact pregnant at that time. Okay, Bishop laments about how this affects Grace. He does not think of himself. He thinks of Grace. Now, Mae has the facade of thinking of others, but we hear up until a certain point, after she meets AJ and learns some things, we hear her only think of herself. But Bishop laments about Grace, that time, how she must have felt. Now, mind you, Grace is not his child by blood. He raised her. He fed her. He poured into her. But she is not his biological daughter. But he thinks of her first, before himself. Let's move forward, shall we? Grace calls after AJ does not answer. She leaves him a message. She tells him that she's told her family. She wants her family to meet him. I know you may be upset about the money, but please call me back. AJ calls her back. He's frantic. He is frayed at all the edges. He is at his most driest and thirstiest point. You know everything about AJ is dry and thirsty, but those teeth, you have been on the street for many years and in jail for many years, but those teeth are beautiful. You know what they say about that prison dentistry? Okay. He's in jail. He has been arrested for possibly committing a robbery. Now, AJ wants her to come down. He is in a desperate place. Now, I know what you're saying. Last episode, AJ told Grace that he didn't want to have anything to do with her. Get away from me. I shall pay all my own bills and feed myself and fend for myself. I don't need you, Grace. Grandstanding, with not nary a leg to stand on. Here we are, begging, because we are handcuffed to a detective's desk and in a desperate place, and now you need your mama. Okay, let's go on. Let's forge ahead. He calls Grace. Grace comes in, no problem. She don't have an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute wait for them to bring the prisoner up front, for them to remind them 3 times to bring the person up front so she can talk to him, to check on them, to check for their name. Like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know how it is when y'all go to lock up. Y'all already know how it is when y'all go to lock up, especially county lockup. It ain't easy, but evidently where they are, it's easy breezy. Shows the ID, signs in, goes to the back, talks to him. She sits down and she barely gets his name out of her mouth before he lets her know what he needs her to do. I need you to be my alibi. Tell him I was with you. I didn't do this, but they're going to pin it on somebody. They got to pin it on somebody, and they found me, and I need you to tell that I was with you. You want me to lie for you? Oh, listen, they're going to send me back to jail. I can't go back to jail. He tells Grace he didn't do this. It wasn't him. It's the police. Grace has a moment. She has a moment. Now, Grace floats through this episode, like I said, but she walks heavy. Now, she is immediately confronted with a dilemma. A dilemma that tests her character. Okay? Do you lie for this boy that you really barely know? You barely know. He has just positioned you because of all of the guilt that you feel. The shame that you feel around giving him up for adoption and kept it a secret and then tried to hide him away and ignore him and the whole works. you have this measure of guilt, and he plays upon it because he's been cultivating it all of this time. Knowingly or unknowingly, we don't know, but he has yet still been cultivating it. Okay. So, she goes in to see the police detective. She knows what the conundrum is. She is still weighing in the balance what she must do here. Tests a man's character. What will you do? Will you stick to your principles, knowing that these principles may lead them to hold your son and keep your son and put him in the system and do what God knows whatever to this boy, because it has been proven that black males in prison do not fare well, especially when they are already fragile and dependent. Y'all remember now from last episode, we have assessed that AJ likes to drink. And whatever else. He's accused of robbing a pharmacy. Pills and such. Police detective has a few quips. Some of them are stereotypical. Some of them are slightly racial. And it puts her in this heated place. He also mentions her being there last year for Mac. In this moment, she becomes defensive. She's on the fence. She becomes defensive. Now, I know what you're saying. You have a whole brother who is a lawyer that you could have called. Now, you seek his counsel when it comes to looking for AJ a job, but you do not seek his counsel when AJ has been locked up. When you are faced between telling a lie and freeing your son, or being honest and him possibly going to jail, you don't call your brother. You've told your family. Okay? Is Aaron not family? Is he not needed in this moment? Okay, Grace. What we're just talking about here, all we're talking about is how you are faced with the challenge. You are giving avenues to get out of that challenge. You choose to go around that avenue and usurp your own agenda. You take the easy route. The easy route is to just lie. This is what tests are made of. This is what tests of character are made of. Will you forsake those that you love? Now, we don't know if that would have been forsaking him. Had she called Aaron, we may have seen Aaron move differently. Maybe Grace would not have had to say a word at all, but we don't know. She didn't choose that avenue. But let's press ahead. She decides in a moment of defense to lie and say that AJ was with her up until midnight. Bible, we're discussing the Bible. He just got out of jail. He's throwing all of these things out. He's reading the list, the list that the enemy has against you. He reads it. He reads it aloud for all to hear. He reads it aloud and finally gets her to this place where she confesses that he is in fact her son. That's why she's so invested. That is why she is so involved. She doesn't seem ashamed to mention it, but at the same time, she didn't just pop out with it either. Okay, so she gets AJ out and she takes him on to the house. He gets to the house and meets Mae, and Mae is so excited to see him. She's very calm. She seems very pulled together. She takes the lead. Welcome to the home. She's already talked to Bishop. We must knit him into the family and find out what is really going on with him. She leads the way with it. Cheer, cheer, joy, joy, elocution. And then she decides she's going to take him down the hill after she has told Marisol to take all the valuables out of sight, darling, and hide them away. And then she plays humble and meek and poor and just measly. Darling, he's come through the gate. Okay? He's met the security guard. He has come up the road some mile to the compound, the Greenleaf estate, if you will. So he knows. He knows. He knows you guys have got money. I'll take you down the hill to meet Zora. She's in her little shabby cabin. Of course, gets down there, and it's a fully decorated, what appears to be minimum 2-bedroom cottage with a living space, an open kitchen and dining area, nuzzled deep in the woods, and it is cozy and well decorated. And you must meet Zora. Zora's there, and she's reading the Bible. She's just focusing on her word, and Mae peeps her head in. Is it okay? Brings him in. Meet your cousin. And she's like, oh, okay, cousin. Okay, how nice. Yeah, so welcome to the Thunderdome. Welcome to the Thunderdome. That's what the Greenleaf dinners is, you know what I'm saying? It's all about, you know what I'm saying, watching your back, protecting your flank and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to stick and move. He laughs. Mae says, come up to the house in 10 minutes, and she goes on. Zora immediately pulls out a vape pen and wants to know if AJ wants to get high. Commercial comes on. We don't ever hear AJ say that he does or does not get high, but Zora. You in charge of the little lambs. You're calling your father when there is a melee over at Dante's spot. You are recovering from having dropped out of school, and you're just trying to get your footing, and you decide out of the blue to see if your cousin want to get high. That's what you lead with. Now, maybe it's a test. I don't know. But at first glance, it appears to be poor form. But let's move forward. Later, AJ goes back home. Now, he arrives home after he has visited with Zora. At the same time, Mae and Bishop and, well, not Mae, Bishop and Grace are at the house, and the police detective comes over, and he has more questions for her. See, this is what they do. They know you're lying. They've got to prove it not only to themselves but to others that you ain't no good, that you a liar, that you come from thugs and animals, thieves. You're less than. You're mentally inept. Doesn't matter what they look like. All of their core is this distrustful. He's got to prove it. He's got to expose you and your family. He got a predisposed idea of who you all are. Questions her. Bishop jumps in to defend her. Is this all? Is that all the questions? She's answered all the questions. Is there anything more? Mae comes up and she discovers, okay, what is really going on. That AJ has been in jail. That Grace has lied on his behalf. That God knows what is going on in terms of the investigation. We have no idea that this thing is careening. It is careening. It is picking up speed downhill. And the slope has been oiled. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. So they go back and forth. Grace is adamant that she is sure that AJ is telling the truth. Mae is not sure, and she really ultimately, she says she wants to protect Grace. And I believe her. I believe that Mae, although she has a different approach than Bishop, they ultimately have the same goal, which is to keep the family together, to keep the church in the family, to have the family to run the church. The church is the legacy. They have different avenues. They have different agendas, but it is ultimately the same goal. At the same time, Mae is still leading with the fact that she is looking out for Grace. Grace is like, you ain't got to look out for me. I believe him. He's telling the truth. Now, up until this point, she has been, like I said, groomed. I've let him down. I owe him. It's the least I can do. Okay? This is where Grace's head is. And she honestly does believe him. He comes in. Mae wants to talk. With this, giving this new information, she want to talk. Let's have a seat. Have a seat right here, boo. Let's talk about this thing. Bishop stands back. Now, mind you, Bishop has, when Mae took AJ down to Zora's cabin, Bishop walked up to Grace and he asked Grace how she was doing in the middle of all of this. Now, this is the first person to ask Grace, how is she? How are you doing? How are things going? How are you managing? Okay. Okay. So now AJ is there and they have some questions. Mae has one question and one question only, which AJ never answered. Now they got a video of a man, a boy, a young man in a gray hoodie. And it's the same gray hoodie he is wearing. It is the same gray hoodie he was in jail with. It's the same gray hoodie he wearing now. I don't know when the last time he took a hot bath. But okay, it's neither here nor there. She wants to know if he did it. Did you do it? Not about you creating the and committing the robbery. It's about my daughter. My daughter has lied for you. I can't have her go down. Be honest. Be honest and tell us. And AJ is skirting it. Would I be here if I did it? You really think I did it? If I did, it would be stupid for me to do it. I would get 20, 30 years. I would never do that. But he never says no. Even at Bishop's urging, he still never says no. Charity comes in. He has gotten up to leave in a huff and a tizzy. Grace has urged him to try to tell the truth. Just let her know. Just tell her. She believes she knows the truth, that he is innocent, but just come on. He's in a huff. He wants to leave. Here comes Charity. She's got a balloon that says, it's a boy. She's an idiot. She's a clown and a buffoon. But we're going to get to it in a moment. Jacob comes in, and Jacob, hey, I'm your uncle. Welcome to the family. What's going on? AJ is like, I thought you all were good people, and you know, he's trying to leave in a huff and a rush, and you're accusing me because Mae stays on it. You still owe me an answer. Shuffle, shuffle. Charity. Jacob comes in. Oh, you still owe me an answer. Oh, she stays on it. Huh? She watching that ball. And if it fall over into the cup, baby, that's point. She leans in hard on him. Okay? But not harder yet. I don't have to tell you nothing, lady. I don't discuss anything with you. She said, let me tell you something. I am a formidable foe. I know you have supped and showered with demons, murderers, killers, assaulters of all sort. But when I tell you I will render you limb from limb, stem to stern, brain to anus, you don't know nobody who will dig in deeper than me. I will ride you into the ground. I am the foe that you should be afraid of, and I will not have my daughter taken down. I will not have this church taken down. Grace is standing just over her shoulder, and she's just like, for real though. Okay? Bishop is like, he holding on to Zora like, oh, she's on the loose. He runs out. Okay, everybody disperses. Mae is like, I don't take any apologies now. In this moment, we see Mae's ultimate heart. I do believe that what Mae says. I do believe that she is a formidable foe. And I know family, no family. He's running a scam because a scammer recognizes him. I think that. I think he's up to something. Because someone who is usually up to something recognizes him as family. Oh, Mae is on to him. Mae is on to him. Cool, smooth, clean. She on to him. Okay. Later on, we see Mae in the bed with Bishop. And they lamenting over what's going on. And she is still very clear. And he is still standing by her. Okay. They have a moment of affection and consolation, commiseration. They're in the bed together. On top of the covers. Where she under, he over. After this conversation, he yawns, stretches. He's tired. He should go to his room, go to bed. Mae says, stay. Snuggle in, darling. Bishop, in this moment, I think he realizes that he needed to be here for this. If he had been in Atlanta for any of this, then things would have gone differently. He is still, though silently, awkwardly, and independently supporting Mae. Okay, let's move on to Jacob. Jacob loses his AP job behind this whole Dante situation. He has to run the gamut with Phil. Okay, before he goes in to see Phil, he sees Charity coming out, and he grills her a little bit about, is Phil on your case too? And she skirts around it here and there. She's lying by omission. She is putting up a bit of a smoke screen. She doesn't really want him to know why she is once again being seen coming out of Phil's office, smiling and charming in glee. Okay, he goes on about his business later on when he talks to Phil, and Phil just says, you're fired. Bob co-signs it. I mean, let's face it, you're no good. Your whole family is no good. What is your problem with me, Phil? What is your problem with me? Huh? You've been coming after me. Like, what is your investment in me getting fired? Like, I just don't understand why you not riding for a brother. I mean, considering you a brother. Like, what is we doing? And Phil is like, it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. See, he's on a mission. He can't do anything at Calvary or anywhere else unless he gets rid of the Greenleafs. His mission is to get rid of the Greenleafs. Okay? Even the 3rd, 4th, 5th Greenleaf in line is better than all the Greenleafs together. Y'all hear what I say? Huh? He'll take the 5th in line, which is Charity. Okay, and everybody before Charity. Okay, Faith, and she did. Zora. And Sophia. Everybody before Charity. Charity is the low man on the totem pole. He would take the 5th, 6th in line over all the Greenleafs. He'd suck it up and take that little bit. Deal with that. He can manage that. Okay. So, Jacob low-key threatens him and lets him know, listen, you're going too far. Go on. Go on. Go on. You want me to call Bob and have Bob tell you personally? You ain't got to do all that. Just go on. Get on out because I'm in a place now. I'm going too far. Okay, go on. Old Phil takes a couple of more digs and scurries on out. Jacob texts Karissa and tells Karissa that he got fired. Now, she's been looking. Tell me what, I'm going down to the church. Tell me if you hear anything. And in the moment you know when he says I'm fired, and okay. Later on, when he goes to the house, he introduces himself to AJ. Now, mind you, Karissa has come in with some good news. He is super excited about the news. He don't ask no questions. He don't need any information about it. He doesn't wonder about his name or his signature being signed to anything or anything of this nature. He has no business administrative questions whatsoever. He's just like, okay, you say it's cool, then it's cool. She wants to take him out to dinner. He's all down for it. That's when he gets the call from Mae that says AJ is coming. Now, she wanted to be a bit of a surprise when he gets there, but he pushes her and she says, Grace's son. What? Oh, yes, Grace's son. So now he is compelled to go. He's got to figure out what is going on. He's a Greenleaf. The Greenleafs are gathering. There is something afoot. I must go. Comes in, change of plans. Karissa does not want to hear it. What about me? What about me? No one's paying attention to me. It's all about your mom. It's never me. I've got to get out from under her thumb. It's never me. What about me? What about me? It's all about me. I think of me. She refuses to go with him. Okay, he goes on over to the house by himself. He meets AJ. He's very cordial. He is still in a fog. Listen, when Jacob is amongst strangers, he is a leader. Amongst the Greenleafs, he is completely complacent with the fact that he is a guppy. A guppy, seemingly so, amongst sharks. And a few barracuda, if you count Charity. Okay, he's a guppy. What are we doing? What's happening? What's going on? Can y'all explain? I'm lost. What are we talking about? This is crazy. So what are we saying? Like, you're the firstborn male, sir. Stand up. Straighten your back. Speak up. You've had more fervor fulfilled. You have no questions. You don't ask what is going on. You don't ask your wife, how have you gotten put down on this house? Were there papers to sign? Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you tell me? I don't know what's going on. I need more information. Yeah. You want to go to dinner? Let's talk about this house situation where you done co-sign and put all this stuff down on the house and the money. You done scraped it together. You don't take the lead in none of this. You don't take the lead in your finances with your wife. You don't take the lead with your doggone family. You just stand back and listen to Mae wear the balls and the penis in the house. Later on, Karissa comes in and she is sullied, drunken. He knows that he recognizes it. He dismisses her. He doesn't want to go over through the whole night with her because it's too much and she's not in a place to really listen. She's giving him some story about she just wanted it to be about her and she just wanted to be happy and she just needed a moment for herself. He doesn't have time. I've got arrangements. Now, it is fair to mention that after Jacob lost his job, he did look up Tasha Skank's number. Looked at it. This is right before Karissa walked in wanting to go to dinner, and he closed the phone down. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk about Karissa real quick, and then we're going to talk about Charity. Now, Karissa goes to collect the check. She's still texting Jacob, let me know what's going on. She's gotten the information from Jacob that he has been fired. At the same time, she's at the investor's office getting the check for her property. Now, typically, I thought that you get it at the closing, but perhaps not. I don't know. Find the details of these things, but anyway, she's there to collect the check, and as soon as she gets the check for what they agreed upon to pay for the property, he's sitting there, and what more do you want? He knows she's gotten the money, she hasn't stood up, she must want something. What gives? And I know that you're hoping hell, and why didn't you tell us? And, well, we're a separate entity, and it's all something different, and blah, 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 and scam, and woo-woo, and smoke and mirrors. And she is like, well, what will you give me not to tell Calvary? Okay. All right. So, lying. Now we are blackmailing. Sounds like you're dancing with the devil by the pale moonlight, but I digress. So he tells her, he says, listen, this is something, but not much. It could hurt, but not really. Eventually, everything will be as it was going to be. It doesn't matter, but I get what you're saying. He goes over, he writes her a check, brings the check over to her and gives it to her. Now, you know this means that you must never, ever tell. You cannot. It will be a breach. She looks at the check and she is pleasantly surprised. Apparently, she tells him that the check that they got for the land isn't even half, doesn't even meet half of what they need to put down on the house. So why were you selling the land in the first place? Okay. All right, y'all was going to work a few more months, but not the way you was coming at Mae. Y'all had all y'all ducks in a row and y'all was going to move into the house. This is the plea that she tells him. Husband's lost 2 jobs. This ain't going to cover the house. I need something more. That's when he writes the check. She looks at the check. She's pleasantly surprised. It's a big thing. It's woo. It's a woo. Woo, woo, woo. Seems like it's well over what the check is. Now, when he asked her to make the check out, he said, shall I make it out to your husband or to you? Now, he had already called her bluff. When she said she going to call her husband. Okay, go ahead. There's a reason why you ain't told him up until now. Go ahead. She doesn't want to do it. This is how he pinned her in. He knows that Jacob doesn't know. He just has to keep her quiet. He doesn't have to keep the Greenleafs quiet. He just has to keep Karissa quiet. Are you there? Okay. So, writes the check. She's pleasantly surprised. He says, listen, can I see you again? Well, why do you want to see me again? You know why. You know why. You absolutely know why, Karissa. You gave him an inch. And when you gave him that inch, he knew that a mile was possible. And he pushed in on that thing. Maybe. He said, That of satisfaction. Okay. What that means is, I already know. I know you. I know you when I seen you. Okay. Yeah, you can be sullied. You can be bought. You can be had. You're fragile. You're on the edge. All I've got to do is blow, and you will fall haplessly. Baby shakes his hand and leaves. Goes over to see Jacobs. Good news. I put a down payment on the house. And how will you be able to afford that? It's crazy. It's wow. And yeah, moved some things around and got some pennies together and scraped it together. We still need a lot more, but this will get us into the house and we'll be fine. Okay, well, we're on Easy Street then. Not really, because you still don't have a steady income, Jacob. But I digress. She wants to go to dinner. She wants to celebrate. But first, she's going to use the restroom. Now, she is wearing a beautiful... It's not polka dot. Polka dot is a little more organized. It's dotted red and white dress. The base color is white. The dots are red. Super cute. She's wearing these high heel Mary Janes with the red toe. And then it's got a trim of black going to the back. And I think a red heel, if I remember correctly. Very sexy. She's a stern woman in the face, but she's got a fetching figure. Goes to the bathroom, comes back, and there's been a change of plans. She throws a hissy. Ah! What about me? What about mine? What about ours? What about me? You always have to go running for your mommy. Jacob said, listen, I got to go. You going to come with me? Does it look like I'm coming with you? Okay. 0 to 60, just like that. Okay, things are rough between them. Now, Jacob seems kind of in the dark about how deep things are going. He's forgotten all about the advice that his father told him. Karissa calls the investor and goes back over. She gets there. She's sitting there. He's got champagne poured. I mean, you can get the thing up the hill, but it is easier if you grease the hill. Champagne she's drinking, and she's dragging Jacob. He's lost 2 jobs. The mother-in-law, I just don't understand. What about me? Oh, okay. He knows that she is a woman who is lacking affection, lacking attention. All he has to do is give her these things, and she will be like putty in his hands. He leans in to give her a kiss. What are you doing? You know what I'm doing. Kiss. soft, smooth. Oh, boy. Leans into that thing. She gets into that thing. Oh, you going down the road. You going down the path. I see what's happening here. Things are in motion slowly, and she straddles him. I was like, ugh, things just picked up a bit. She's straddling now. Lifts up her skirt. He puts her down on her back and leans in. And that is all she wrote. She has committed adultery. It feels good. Oh, to have a good smelling, good looking, well-dressed man. Beautiful hair and chest. And oh, child, he's all up in it and doing everything he needs to do to get what he needs to get and give her what she needs to have when she needs to get it. And it is wonderful. Later on, when she goes back to the house and she is talking to Jacob, she walks in that house with shame, okay, flanking both her left and her right side. I mean, it is swinging on her neck from the back, pulling her. She just looks so guilty. Jacob hears what she has to say partially. She tries to sort of explain to Jacob that she just wanted to be happy. This is an explanation to Jacob, but it is also an explanation to the voice inside of her that is telling her, what the F have you just done? Huh? I was unhappy. I just wanted to be about me. I just wanted to be happy for a moment and not be about your mother. Yeah. He goes on out. She goes and gets undressed and washes her face and looks in the mirror. She is a sad sack. Oh, it was a moment. It was fireworks and joy and happiness and butterscotch and warm honey. But now you got to look at yourself. Now things feel differently. She runs the shower and she goes to step in the shower. And before she steps in the shower, she just looks in it and she realizes you will never be able to undo this. What you have done has been done. It cannot be now undone. You have had a strange man inside of your body. There is not water hot enough to rinse away the guilt and shame that you feel now. Now, we're not talking about the fact that Jacob cheated on her. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about personally how one deals with one's own mess, own stench. She wants to get a hot shower. Okay, even if Jacob forgives her, it will never go back to where it was, where she was in a place of superiority as having been the faithful one. She is now a cheater too. Okay, and she's yet still deeper. You've lied, you've omitted the information about the property, then you go in and you profit from that lie and omission, and you top it off with an infidelity with the individual who is in fact scamming you, taking you for a ride. Because if he had some $1 million and $2 million to give you, then I promise you there was at least 10 million more you could have had if you had waited. If you had not been answering to your own baser instincts. But, let's move forward. Charity. Charity learns about AJ and immediately goes, after her mother has told her this stays in the family, goes to tell Phil. She's got a beautiful blue and white dress on, and she's one of those cinch dresses she's been wearing that I like, and she's got her hair pulled to the side a bit and a little tendril hanging down, and she comes in as though it's a game. Stand up, Phil. And Phil is like, I don't want to stand up. Stand up, Phil. Oh, okay, I'll stand up. Now have a seat. You're going to want to have a seat when you hear this. I just stood up. I know, but I've always wanted to. See, it's not about that, Charity. See, you're a whole immature child. You're a whole immature child. Okay? And I'm so pissed off with the glee and the joy that you have taken in dragging your sister, who has done absolutely nothing that measures up to the type of betrayal that you are executing on her with Phil. We just discussing. She tells him, he's mildly impressed. Oh, and he's been in jail. It's something, but that's more about him than... Well, you've got to get more. Oh, and Charity, your hair. I like your hair like that. It's a little manipulation, a little control. She don't need a lot. He ain't got to flex a whole lot. What she bringing him is so little that what he gives her in terms of investment is little. Okay? He's not fully invested without something from her. Something. Everything. All things. Later on, after she has met AJ and dragged the fact that it's been 25 years and the whole secret, she makes it all about her, kept from me, kept from us and AJ, and I want to hear every little teeny tiny tippity tip thing about you, every little detail, so I can go and tell Phil. It's been 25 years. I haven't known you. Over 25 years. Just slamming it in Grace's face. She reveled in it. She was like a pig in mud. She threw it over her shoulders and dabbed a bit behind her ear. She really enjoyed it. She goes back to Phil now a second time and she tells him it's late in the evening. She's left the home. Oh, this is the story. Grace lied. He went to jail as early as yesterday, and Grace lied to get him out. Oh, but she lied? This is it. This is what we need. But only if we had proof. Proof? But damn, she got her phone. She got it on recording. The whole conversation between Mae and Grace and AJ and a whole family as they are all together there. Now in her mind, she just uncovering Grace. Okay, she ain't thinking about all the other family members there in the conversation that may or may not have been had. That's not the point. And he is so ecstatic he goes in for a kiss. Oh, it seems gentle, and then he gets all into it, and they are making out, and she is feeling so vivacious. I thought you did all this for AP status. Is it for booty too? You was doing it to get a man too? Is the man the cherry on top? This episode, you didn't mention preaching at all, really. Okay. Now, Jacob has gone to the office after he has left Karissa and the Greenleafs and all the mess and packed up his box. And he's got his box full of belongings there at the office. And he's walking out and he hears Charity. And he looks through the frosted glass, and the part of the glass which is a cross that isn't frosted. He looks through the cross and he sees Charity and Phil making out heavily. And the episode goes off, but first, let's talk about Grace. Grace goes over and chases AJ. Gets to the apartment, he's packing up. She doesn't want him to leave. He's out. I'm sick of it. I don't want to be any part of this. But you're violating parole. I don't care. I'm gonna go low. And I don't want to get involved with your family. Don't you want to be a part of a family? Not this family. Or he says this family. I was like, yeah, well, you got a point. This family. No, you don't want to be a part of this family. This family has pushed him around a little bit. Rightfully so. She says, well, here, take my car. Now we see where she's continually trying to prove to him that she's on his side. Goes for the door. He turns around and he says, thanks for everything, and throws the keys to it. Like, I don't even want your car. Maybe because your mission is over. She stands there and looks at him as he leaves. Second time you done walked out on your mama. Well, really the third or fourth time, because you walked out on her a couple of times over at the halfway house. When? How long? Who's going to ask for a DNA? How long, Grace, you going to put up with this? How long you going to let this boy run you like this? How long before you call your brother and do a full background check and get ahead of this thing? Phil knows now the ugly, murky details of this situation. If you Greenleafs don't rally together, minus Karissa and Charity, it's going to be a debacle out here. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the juxtaposition between Mae and Bishop. Bishop led with caring and kindness, always thinking of others. Mae has an agenda. Mae's all about the family. Now, maybe somebody else has to be. Same thing we see with Karissa and Jacob. Jacob letting Karissa run everything. Karissa is screaming out loud that she is sick and tired of being the lead, the head, the puller. She wants Jacob to get alongside of her. At the same time, they don't see eye to eye. They don't have the same goals and plans. How is it possible? Okay, we see the dynamics between AJ and Grace. Grace is all in, but at what cost, Grace? At what cost? How are you all in, but you ain't all in legally? You not all in cognitively. You being led on emotion. What is going on? Charity, you are a filthy, filthy individual. You're dirty in all things. The glee and the joy you took at stabbing your sister in the back and then turning it and dragging it down her spine is unconscionable, my darling. If you thought you was gonna bust hell wide open for calling over there to Noah's house, and you don't think that you gonna split it in two for the ish you doing to your own blood sister, you're crazy. Y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees, mwah, mwah, mwah,